Hello, and welcome to the 158th episode of Scripture in a Year, hosted by Saints Peter and Paul Orthodox Church in the Albanian Archdiocese of the OCA. Today's reading is from the book of Proverbs, chapters 5 through 8. My son, hold fast to wisdom and incline your ear to my words, that you may guard good thinking. And I command you with the perception of my lips, do not join yourself to a base woman, for honey drips from the lips of a prostitute, or for a season she is pleasing to your taste. Afterward, however, you will find her more bitter than gall and sharper than a two-edged sword. For feet lacking discernment lead those using her down into Hades with death. Her footsteps are not planted, for she does not travel the ways of life, and her paths are slippery and not easy to discern. Now therefore, my son, hear me, and do not make my words invalid. Make your way distant from her, and do not come near the doors of her house, that you may not give away your life to others, and your existence to the merciless, that strangers may not be filled with your strength, and your labors go into the houses of strangers, and you should feel regret at the last, when the flesh of your body is consumed. And you will say, how I hated instruction, and turned my heart away from reproofs. I did not hear the voice of my instructor and teacher, nor did I incline mine ear. Little by little I was in every evil, in the midst of the church and congregation. Drink waters from your vessels, and from the fountains of your spring. Do not let the waters from your fountain be spilled by you. But let your waters pass through your wide places. Let them be only for you, and let no stranger partake with you. Let the fountain of your water be for you alone, and rejoice together with the wife of your youth. Let your loving deer and graceful colt keep company with you, and let her alone go before you, and be with you at all times. For in living with her love, you will be great. Do not be intimate with a strange woman, neither cling to the embrace of a woman not your own. For the ways of a man are before the eyes of God, and he keeps close watch on all his paths. Lawless women ensnare a man, but each man is bound by the chains of his own sin. Such a man dies with the uninstructed, and is cast forth from the abundance of his own substance, and he is destroyed by lack of discernment. My son, if you assume the debt of your friend, you will deliver your hand to an enemy. For a man's own lips become a strong snare to him, and he is conquered by the utterances of his own mouth. My son, do what I command you, and you will save yourself. For you came into the hands of evil things through your friend. Do not be faint, but provoke even your friend, for whom you assumed a debt. Do not give sleep to your eyes, nor slumber to your eyelids, that you may be saved as a gazelle from the snares, and as a bird from a trap. Compare yourself with the ant, O sluggard, and be zealous when you see his ways, and become wiser than he. For although he has no tilled land, neither anyone to compel him, nor any master to rule him, yet he prepares all his food in the summer, and makes his provision abundant in the winter. Or go to the honeybee, and learn how she is a worker, and how solemnly she does her work, whose labors king and common people use for health, and she is desirable to all and glorious. And although she is weak in bodily strength, she leads the way in honoring wisdom. How long, O sluggard, will you be idle, and when will you arise from sleep? You sleep a little, you sit down a little, you doze a short while, and you fold your hands on your chest a little. Then poverty comes to you as an evil traveler, and neediness as a swift runner. But if you are diligent, your harvest shall come to you as a fountain, and neediness as an evil runner shall desert you. A man who is without discernment and is lawless does not walk in good ways. But he winks with an eye, and he makes a sign with his foot, and teaches with the wave of his hand. And with a perverse heart he constantly schemes evil things. Such a man causes trouble in a city. Therefore his destruction comes suddenly, a deep and incurable wound. For he rejoices in everything the Lord hates, and he shall be broken because of his soul's uncleanness. A haughty eye, an unrighteous tongue, hands that shed righteous blood, a heart that devises evil thoughts, and feet that hasten to do evil. As a false witness, he kindles injustice, and causes quarrels between brethren. My son, guard the laws of your father, and do not depart from the rules of your mother, but fasten them to your soul continually, and wear them as a collar upon your neck. When you walk about, bring along this commandment, and let it be with you. And as you sleep, let it guard you, that when you arise, it may speak to you. For a commandment of law is a lamp and a light, and the way of life is reproof and instruction, that you may keep yourself from a married woman, and from the slanderous tongue of a strange woman. Do not let the desire of beauty conquer you, neither be caught by her eyes, nor captivated by her eyelids. For the value of a prostitute is only one loaf, and such a woman hunts for the precious souls of men. Shall anyone bind fire to his bosom, and his garments not burn? Or will anyone walk about on coals of fire and not burn his feet? Likewise is the one who goes in to a married woman. He shall not be guiltless, nor any who touch her. It is not surprising if anyone who steals is caught, for he steals that he may fill his hungry soul. But if he is caught, he will repay sevenfold, and by giving all his goods he shall deliver himself. But the adulterer, through his lack of discernment, obtains the destruction of his soul. He bears both pain and dishonor, and his disgrace will not be wiped away forever. For the anger of her husband is full of jealousy. He will not spare in the day of judgment. He will not take any ransom in exchange for his hatred, nor will he be reconciled by many gifts. My son, guard my words and hide my commandments within yourself. My son, honor the Lord, and you shall be strong, and fear none other but him. Guard my commandments, and you will live, and my words as the pupils of your eyes, and put them around your fingers, and write them upon the breadth of your heart. Say that wisdom is your sister, and gain discernment as a friend for yourself, so they may keep you from a strange and evil woman, if she comes at you with flattering words. For she looks from a window of her house into the streets, upon whom she might see among the undiscerning children, a young man lacking discernment, passing by near the corner on the pathways of her house. And she speaks in the darkness at evening, when there is silence on a dark night, and the woman meets him, having the appearance of a prostitute. She makes the heart of young men throb. She is excited and debauched, and her feet do not rest at home. For at times she is outside roaming about, and at another time she is in the streets, near every corner, laying a trap. Then laying hold of him, she kisses him, and with a shameless face she says to him, I have a peace offering. Today I pay my vows. For this reason I came out to meet you. Longing for your face, I found you. I spread my bed with sheets and covered it with tapestry from Egypt. I sprinkled my bed with saffron, and my house with cinnamon. Come and let us enjoy love until morning. Come and let us embrace in love, for my husband is not at home, but is gone on a long journey, taking a bag of money in his hand. He will return to his house after many days. So she leads him astray with much conversation, and with snares from her lips she compels him. And being cajoled, he follows her as an ox is led for slaughter, and as a dog to bonds, or as a deer struck with an arrow in the liver, and he hastens even as a bird into a snare, not knowing he runs for his life. Now therefore, my son, hear me, and hold fast to the words of my mouth. Do not let your heart turn aside to her ways, for she wounded and cast down many, and those whom she slew are innumerable. Her house is the road to Hades, leading down to the chambers of death. You shall proclaim wisdom, that discernment may obey you. For she is on the lofty summit, she stands in the midst of the paths, for she sits beside the gate of princes and sings at the entrances. You, O men, I exhort, and I utter my voice to the sons of men. Understand astuteness, O simple ones, and put it in your heart, O uninstructed ones. Obey me, for I speak sacred things, and from my lips I will bring forth things that are true. For my mouth shall speak the truth, but false lips are an abomination before me. All the words of my mouth are with righteousness. There is nothing in them crooked or twisted. All things are evident to those who understand, and true to those who find knowledge. Lay a hold of instruction and not silver, and knowledge rather than tested gold. And choose perception rather than pure gold. For wisdom is better than precious stones, and every costly thing is not worthy of her. I, wisdom, dwell with counsel, and I call upon knowledge and understanding. The fear of the Lord hates unrighteousness, and both rudeness and arrogance, and the ways of wicked men, and I hate the perverted ways of evil men. Counsel and safety are mine. Discernment is mine, and strength is mine. By me kings reign, and princes right of righteousness. By me noblemen become great, and by me monarchs have power in the land. I love those who love me, and those who seek me shall find me. Riches and glory belong to me, and abundant possessions and righteousness. It is better to enjoy my fruits than gold and precious stones, and my fruits are better than choice silver. I walk in the ways of righteousness, and I am conversant with the paths of judgment, that I may distribute substance to those who love me, and may fill their treasuries with good things. If I declare to you the things that happen daily, I will also remember to recount the things of old. The Lord created me in the beginning of his ways for his works. He established me in the beginning before time, before he made the earth and before he made the abysses, before the going forth of the fountains of waters, before the mountains were created, and he begot me before all hills. The Lord made the fields and the uninhabited places, and the inhabited heights under heaven. When he prepared heaven, I was present with him, and when he set apart his throne upon the winds. When he made strong the things above the clouds, and made sure the fountains under heaven, and made strong the foundations of the earth. I was working beside him. I was he in whom he rejoiced. Daily and continually I was gladdened by his face. When he completed the world, he rejoiced, and he rejoiced in the sons of men. Now therefore, my son, hear me. Blessed is the man who shall hearken to me, and the man who shall guard my ways, who watches me daily at my doors, who keeps watch at the doors of my entryways. For my issues are the issues of life, and grace is prepared from the Lord. But those who sin against me act ungodly toward their own souls, and those who hate me love death. Here ends the reading for today.